Hey Coach, I'm Justin Foster with the Excelling Edge, and welcome to another Mental Toughness Minute, equipping coaches to prepare their athletes for battle. Today's tip, embrace nervousness. When I was a junior in high school, we were preparing for our final our district cross-country meet that season, and before the race, we're doing our final strides out from the starting line. Our coach comes over to talk to us. He just wanted to know how we're feeling, how we're doing. I told him, hey Coach, I'm feeling pretty ready to go, but I've got these butterflies in my stomach. I'm a little bit nervous. And his response really surprised me. He said that was a good thing. He said that meant that I cared about the outcome of the race. And actually, he said that he wasn't even going to let me run that day if I didn't feel a little bit nervous. That was kind of the first time that I realized that, maybe nerves aren't a bad thing. And come to find out that nervousness is really about how you interpret it. When athletes misinterpret their nerves, they feel more nervous than they did before, they feel more anxious, and it really sabotages their performance. I worked with a tennis player once that before big matches, when he felt nervous, he thought that it meant that he wasn't prepared, that he wasn't good enough, and even that he didn't have what it took to win the match. But that wasn't the case at all. He was a really talented tennis player. It was really just about how he was interpreting his nerves. Misinterpreting nervousness does affect an athlete's performance because it affects their confidence, it affects their motivation, and it affects their effort. So instead, I want you to coach your athletes to embrace nervousness using two proven strategies. Number one, educate them about the body's fight or flight response. Right? It's our body's natural stress response. The way I look at it, it's our body's way of preparing for battle stations. And every aspect of the fight or flight response serves a purpose. Our body turns on the AC, the cooling system, before we even need it because part of our fight or flight response warms up the major muscle groups in our body so that we're ready for action. And so that's why we start to sweat. Every part of the fight or flight response is a way of getting us ready for the competition ahead. And number two, help your athletes to interpret their nerves as excitement. Right? Some coaches try to encourage athletes to calm down and to relax before a competition, but that usually doesn't work so well. Instead, have your athletes maybe say to themselves or even say out loud, I'm not nervous, I'm excited. I worked with an MMA fighter once that had the same issue. Before a big fight, he would feel nervous. And he really had a hard time trying to calm himself down before a fight. So when we were talking about this idea of, instead of trying to calm down, to actually view that nervousness as excitement, he really got excited about that idea and that was really going to work for him. And so turns out he found that the research to be true. Viewing that nervousness as excitement really improved his performance. And I think it will for your athletes too. So rather than athletes fighting their body's natural responses, you can coach them to embrace nervousness so that they're ready for the first pitch, tip-off, or the opening whistle. That wraps up another Mental Toughness Minute. Before you go, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll keep more mental toughness tips coming your way. If you want even more resources, then check out my website at theexcellingedge.com. Thanks for watching.